And it was, I think they were about 5 people, and then one lady was, we recorded one dead from the, one of the ladies were dead, and the ladies were 2, and then 3 men, and then the one who was riding the boat itself.
Also in the bulletin, immigration officer who was shot dead while traveling with his colleagues from Boko laid to rest. Meanwhile, family suspects foul play.
Was a carefully designed, properly planned, well orchestrated, thoughtfully calculated, and duly executed barbaric, cruel and gruesome act of murder.
Residents of Otejo, a flood-prone community near Dansoman, want authorities to take immediate steps to demolish structures built on waterways as the rains set in.
Go pumping machine I might actually soon cry if you are not so got idea soon here. It's a train I nest house. Almost of if the same water we in our house breaking. It's in young got away we happen. Say I make my be that for one. Say die is got an on wood I know. A peace of mind. Oh, we also fear because it's only see you very be or me fifiano. So you very be you money fear.
And later, Students' Loans Trust Fund recovers 90 million cedis from some 20,000 defaulters.
We've sent them reminders. In some cases, we've even contacted their employers. In all cases, we have contacted their guarantors. All these steps have borne no fruit. Now, when that happens, the act that brought us into being gives us the right to publish their details in the national dailies.
I'm grateful that you could choose us. Let's begin with the very first story now. And one person has died after a canoe they were traveling on the Blackwater capsized on Friday. Information from the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, at Banda in the Bono region indicates that there were 5 passengers, 2 females and 3 males, a rider and his assistants. One of the females, however, lost her life, while 2 others sustained injuries. There's more in this report.
They were traders. It was traders who were coming from the northern part of the Bono side. They were coming from the northern region across to their villages. You see, normally these fishermen and women, they are always around the riverside up to the Burkina, up to the Côte d'Ivoire boundary. So these people were coming from the northern side, and when they got to a point, and then their canoe capsized. And it was, I think they were about 5 people, and then one lady was, we recorded one dead from the, one of the ladies were dead, and the ladies were 2, and then 3 men, and then the one who was riding the boat itself. So far, that was what we gathered. And we said that the one who was riding the canoe itself, or the engine boat, there's one guy too who is, I think, is their mate or whatsoever. He is the one yet we are not seeing him. We are yet to recover the body. Either he is alive or he has gotten to a point where we can't locate him. We are still on a tour going around, checking the village one after the other.
Now, the family of the immigration officer, Assistant Inspector Philip Mote, who was shot dead at Boko in the Upper East region, is alleging foul play. 3 immigration officers were traveling from Boko to Misiga when their vehicle was shot at by unknown gunmen, resulting in the death of 42-year-old Assistant Inspector of the immigration, Philip Mote. Philip was pronounced dead upon arrival at the hospital. Citi News' Beverlyn London was at the funeral ceremony held in honor of the late officer and has come through with this report.
On Monday, April 3 this year, 42-year-old Assistant Inspector of Immigration Philip Mote met his untimely death after he was shot by unidentified gunmen at Boko in the Upper East region. 2 other officers, Eric Aibia and Lawrence Afri, who were with the late officer, also sustained injuries. Family, government officials from the Ghana Immigration Service, sympathizers and friends gathered at the Good Shepherd Evangelical Church at Lashibi in Accra to pay their last respects to the departed. Also in attendance were the 2 officers who survived the attack. Delivering a heartfelt tribute at the ceremony, his brother, Cephas Mutis, said the family suspects foul play.
What happened that Easter Monday was not an accident. It was not a robbery. What happened that day was a carefully designed, properly planned, well orchestrated, thoughtfully calculated, and duly executed barbaric, cruel, and gruesome act of murder. And I, Cephas, find it extremely difficult to forgive. Not even with the intervention of Christ himself. And I will not miss my words because I stand on this podium to speak the truth. That is what it is meant to be, the church.
The family also cast doubt on the possibility of justice being served.
Just like the journalist Ahmed Suale's investigations, just like my late Professor Bene, the law professor's investigations, the MP J.B. Dankwa's investigations, what have come out of them? I do not see any justice for my brother. We, the siblings, do not believe that anything will come out of this. It's going to be one pomp and pageantry of a ceremonial something. That is what we believe.
The head of public affairs for the Ghana Immigration Service, Chief Superintendent Michael Amwakwata, however, urged the family to exercise patience while the police investigate the matter.
The combined team of police, national security, immigration, investigative teams are on the field trying to unravel the whole mystery surrounding the unfortunate incident of the shooting of the 3 officers, which led to the demise of our officer. And you know the way it happened, definitely it will take time for the facts to be made available, and especially when there are no immediate eyewitnesses who say that maybe I saw A or I saw B. So the team is working, talking to people and all that. So let's give them time, and I believe when they are done, they will have something tangible to come up with, which will lead to the possible arrest of those behind the shooting incident.
The deceased has been given rest in his hometown, Chibu Awudome, in the Volta region. The late Philip Mote left behind 3 children.
Reporting for Citi News, Beblin, London.
Now, residents of Tichi in the Lujokuku municipality have called on government to begin immediate rehabilitation works on their inner roads. The residents bemoan the deplorable roads are negatively affecting commuting in the township, hence the need for urgent action to be taken. Well, Citi News' Kennedy Chumesi was in that community and has come through with this report.
Today in the Citi Newsroom, we focus on Teshi. Where I'm standing currently is the Ajoman roundabout here at Teshi. On my left leads to Teshi First Light, and right behind me leads to Greater Estates and Avenue. Right in front of me leads to Teshi Tribunal, and that's where you can also find the Lekma Hospital. Residents and commuters here are lamenting the poor state of the roads here, and we are here to assess the situation.
Residents of Teshi, a vibrant community located on the outskirts of the capital city Accra, have been grappling with the severe deterioration of their inner roads. The state of these roads has triggered widespread concern among residents who lament the negative impact it has on their daily lives and the overall development of the area.
We need the road to be fixed. All we are asking for is the road to be fixed. I have visited workshop to change my links 2 times in one single month. So you can see what we are going through as residents. And you know what is surprising is that residents in Greater Estate, we are an organized estate. We pay our property rate, we pay business operating permits, and any basic rate we pay. So why are we not getting what we should get? Just common road. Just recently, Kumewu, within 2 weeks, roads have been fixed over there. And over here, we have been neglected. It's like a cemetery. It is the portals are even more than Galamsey site. It's so appalling. Masa, we need the road to be fixed.
During a visit to various communities in Teshi, including Greater Estates, Teshi Market, Teshi First Slide, and Bush Road, it became apparent that most of the inner roads within the community were in a deplorable state. Potholes of varying sizes, deep cracks, and crumbling surfaces were evident, presenting numerous challenges to motorists and pedestrians alike.
We are the Greater Estate now, so this is Greater Estate. So this road links straight to fertilizer, and then there's a fertilizer road down there that leads to Adegono. And this very just junction, the junction just here, it takes you to Adegono, and then this road also takes you straight to Swinters Bachona, so EcoBank. So as I'm telling you, you can see this roads in Teshi. We have a lot of access roads, and then when we believe if it's been fixed, it would ease the traffic on the main roads, and then it will make connecting into other communities very easy for us.
At Greater Estates, residents and drivers expressed their frustration with the poor nature of some road intersections. They emphasized that rehabilitating the roads in the estate could help ease traffic on major routes, as the estate has many access routes. Harsh weather conditions, particularly heavy rainfall, have exacerbated the problem, leading to further deterioration of the roads.
Because of the bridge and the gutter, the volume of the water is very big than the gutter, and you can see that they built along the drain. So even the bridge, the way they did it, is not big, and there is no wind wall that will collect the water to go. So the water overflow and passes here. Yeah, that's the problem over here. So first they have constructed this road nicely here, all very beautiful, but because of the flood that destroyed the road, as you can see.
The once smooth inner roads of Teshi have now become obstacles to motorists. Drivers find themselves engaged in a daily battle of maneuvering around potholes, which poses risk and hampers smooth transportation.
Untumi faka ntwemumba ekwana ase kura ufa ha kwati se fa junction time ayi disi se ye ba ha fiansa ye du ha mo we ye kwan up to now kwan da hwanye nde se omba ba ye amaye ade nso ye twe road wet enya fe.
Now we are the fourth junction now. Junction. Yeah, so behind me go straight to first junction, and then in front of me that's coming from roundabout Ajoman, and then this road goes to Shiblo and Mantu, and then Mana. So here we have two schools here. We have Ford School, and then we have Lewin. Yeah, Lewin School. And then you know the roads are bad. So drivers try to dodge the potholes anytime they are applying this road. And then sometimes they go, they are hazards because the kids are there when they close, they have to cross the road and all that. So this road has been very, very bad.
Commuters in particular have voiced concerns over the deteriorating conditions as they experience damage to their vehicles and an increased risk of accidents.
Our roads there is so bad. So bad, I don't know what to compare. Very bad. Our roads in here. Oh, this is me be too cow. Me who baby amefa. Over to top to smooth, oh, so bad. We are now a mechanic shop. Me fuck keep it, na me journey baby amefa. So bad. Ti yesemwa munche na munye bibi fa techi kwa nyina mako grade state. I will call there poto. Enya kra.
Teshi inner roads are not good. You understand? When you hit the main road, that you don't have any problem. When you are driving from Tema, you enjoy the road from Tema through Nungwa. Once you get to Teshi, then you don't enjoy the driving again. It's about 70% true that some of the Nungwa inner roads are asphalted. And so you enjoy driving there. But when you come here, I think we have a lot of road deficits in Teshi here. The major ones, like this one, there is First Junction, Ajoma roundabout, and then through 4 to Anumantu, and then that one that hits the Lekman Road, through Triblau. These are roads that we use. Those from Dungwa who don't want to apply the main road, they all come through this road. So when you are here in the morning, on the working days, you see that there are a lot of traffic. So it should be fixed. Once it's fixed, if these stretches are being done, and then later on they can do the small ones, we will appreciate it.
The deteriorating infrastructure has become a source of inconvenience and concern for the community. In the Teshi market, Citi News encountered Aaron Tayman, who took matters into his hands by filling potholes with stones on their road. He expressed his disappointment in the lack of government action to fix their road, which forced him to resort to such measures.
Bujien chacha ikalo jien ba amshilom no won wo feel waga tejien wo mi ni won waga feel mi waga sa am waga bia mi no go feel je contract ni won che won fe ken wa government e wakalo le jien wo na mi na ga won wo wa me ka won am make won no go feel ka waga nunu.
We are on the Mangwasi Royal Bridge now. So this is Teshi Mahami. This is a part of Teshi Mahami. That's the Teshi Township. This is where we are now. So the Mangwasi Junction is right there. From my left, I come from the Mangwasi Junction, and then to my right, you are going to First Junction. Yeah, you go to the Roman School, then you hit the main road, the main beach road, First Junction, and then you just go. Yeah, this has been for some years now, not just some few months. You could see the nature of the road. It isn't something that happened overnight. This has been it's been for a while now. So I think this is why we are calling the rights authorities to come to our aid to help us.
Similar conditions were observed in the Teshi Township, where residents and drivers shared their frustration over the state of the roads.
Teshi more than 10 years in it. Dear. Time you do near Betuaba, no matter Assisa and a year Guquemu, to say your mobile Quanama, Yakwan Yen, Ufa, Triblo, Quan, Kupia, Jomodi, and Yen, Utmi Bopotus Mukrana, Yamasho. Oh, yakwaninye eso mo behwe ma NDC ba no eja MPP ba no eja sade bia sa akwaninye Teshi su nye kuro kitua enti we de yesremu o mo behwe kwan no mo nye maye MP no behwe no mo nye maye akwaninye
ye taxi drivers say no ye na brepa because every 1 week e kwa abosokan na abosokan e call master ukokoto pass ba akukura master nya de kitua o na me kire no enti ye ka kire aban say so hom we bia offer bebua o man Teshi say ufa passenger kwa ha and also charging na also Teshi had the price no ni boy didn't say master problem here face o kwan no at the end of the day obi sorry how much kura be kwa adwuma no no body ni nyina dey pills because port said that kwan no it's too much eti ye ka kire aban say won twede ni me hwe Teshi fo a ye kwan na asese ro be ni ye dia me ma no tempti class o ba be campaign wa ha me ma no tempti.
The Lejokuku Assembly has announced plans to commence construction on the inner roads in the second quarter of 2023. While this news brings some hope, the residents of Teshi remain cautiously optimistic, hoping that authorities will fulfill their promise and bring about the much-needed improvements. They believe that the rehabilitation of the inner roads will not only enhance transportation, but also uplift the overall living standards in the community.
Reporting for Citi News at Teshi, my name is Kennedy Chumesi.
Now from the Lejokuku municipality, let me take you now to the Ablekuma West municipality, because in this report read by Akusia Otre, Citi News' Kennedy Chumesi sheds light on the readiness of Otijo, a flood-prone community, as we enter the rainy season. The residents, troubled by the recurring flooding situation, are calling on the Assembly to take immediate action by demolishing structures built on waterways and constructing proper drainage systems.
Generally, flooding in most areas submerges neighborhoods, damages infrastructure, and upends the lives of countless residents. The impact of these floods underscores the pressing need for proactive measures, robust infrastructure, and community support to mitigate the effects of future natural disasters. However, in a grim reminder of the destruction floods cause in communities such as Dansoman, particularly Otejo, residents always grapple with the aftermath of severe flooding. According to residents, homes have always been swamped, forcing families to flee to higher ground or seek temporary shelter. This was evident when Citi News visited a home where the recent rain had forced residents to flee.
Environment in Yakra, because of feeling now before we ride away, no. It's a eludi aba ye nest house no. It's yama fina unfile no. It's only to say na a rare be them. It's a sa by no, want me beshe fina a blocky. Got a night me am I sony emba forgot an no. Now bind to me any be found mine. So pumping machine and a train. Without pumping machine, still nanka, soon be wufia. Soon be still. Because of pumping machine, I might actually soon cry if you are not so got a be a sooner. It's your train, I call nest house. Almost of the same water we in a outbreak now. It's a young got away we happen. Say, I bambit my be that for one. Say, die is got an own wood. A peace of mind. Oh, yeah. You also fear because insolvency, you go very brave, you may fear them. So, you go very brave, you may fear.
Floods always leave a trail of devastation in their wake. At Otejo, the main concern, according to residents, has got to do with buildings on waterways and the lack of proper drainage systems.
I got no. She found we and so the ban and once like the maybe and also got away as I was saying a good street. Bluff factory, fence one, and bag at any. Into she I talk against a pipe wire the better. Me see, I try quite meanwhile, I was got an echo street. Ya Markham, CBI per se, yeah, the trap, but I knew I know when I just say already. Or by my come my I say, you should not buy no send up as a channel will be on echo. It's be bien shoes be a neighborhood, a baby of a Fabian neighborhood. Into Yagata, I see. Yagata, it say, Endwala, you dear no crana. Gata like the issue woman emphasis problem be I see because gata na young she issue na no I taking the gata anti a balance and no than as other fact do so. Oh, yes, and your quite a cool fear neighbor. Are there higher?
A visit to the area witnessed massive construction of buildings. Residents affected by the floods find themselves in a state of distress and uncertainty. It tells Citi News that shops and school children are also forced to close temporarily.
Enu pen e problem wa fiti ha sa akosi no ho sa enu le how na me ka say once ye fili akọ enti gata kwan be bia gata kwan da bia no de wo ho kwan se obebubu na nipa ye free se wo ba na nsu akumi ba se wa ha me wo ba na nsu akumi ba wa ha me a efi enam dan ba ko nti wo de akumi ba wa ha me.
Drivers, on the other hand, lament the stress they are forced to endure when using the road after it rains.
In this area, actually, we are fight. Even as I'm talking to you, if you go to the next street, you go and see, how the whole places. This place is even better than there. Though we are suffering here, what we are lacking now is drainage. And this place, the land has been sold. I will not say that just foreigners, but those that with the people think that they have money, they have filled this place and even there is no any gutter. Filling it without even thinking about the people around them. So, in this neighborhood, our challenge is very, very serious. 3 years now. And do you know what they have been doing? They always fight us when it's getting to election time. When the election time is about to, before you see them here coming, then they will come and give us some kuntum. We call it kuntum, pepe. And then some bucket and then chamber pot or whatever. And then they will come and share it and then that's all. These people, leave them alone. After the election, they will vote for us. But we are hoping that things will change. But up to now, this road leads straight to Malam Junction. It leads straight to Malam Junction. The other road to the same. The other one to lead to Chaba. That was Kaneshie Odoko main road. But people has blocked that place.
Buildings on waterways and the lack of proper drainage systems are some of the major causes of flooding when it rains here at Otejo in the Ablekuma West municipality. Now they want the municipality to take up measures to fight this menace whenever it rains. Reporting for Citi News, my name is Kennedy Chumesi.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom here on Citi TV, still to come. Students Loan Trust Fund recovers 90 million Ghana cedis from some 20,000 defaulters. We have details of this and other stories coming up shortly. Please to stay.
It is important for husbands to support their wives who test positive for HIV when they are pregnant. The assistance I got from my husband encouraged me to follow all the guidelines given by the nurses and doctors. I gave birth to an HIV negative child. I'm therefore appealing to all men to test for HIV and encourage their wives to do same. All pregnant women should test for HIV and follow instructions given by their healthcare providers. This will help them to have HIV-free babies. Men and women, let's work together to have an HIV-free generation.
Our children must be free to shine.
If you're a whiz kid that collects straight A's in your sleep, a brainy brains that aces quizzes without even trying, or a clever clogs that knows just about everything, then there's one more battle you have to win. The Literacy Challenge. The nationwide search for the best junior high student is on. Think it could be you going home with 10,000 Ghana cedis and a glitzy trophy? Then, in not less than 600 words, write a story that ends with the following statement. The happiest people do not have the best of everything, they make the best of everything they have. Stories should be written in your own handwriting with the deadline of Saturday, the 15th of July 2023 in mind. Submissions must include an endorsement by a parent or guardian and their full contact details. And once you're done, shoot off your entries to the front desk of Citi TV or Citi FM. Or you can send entries to PO Box GP 14123 Accra Central. For more inquiries, call 0558 973 973. The Literacy Challenge 2023 is powered by Citi TV, supported by Citi FM, and is sponsored by Ghana National Gas Company.
You're welcome back to the Citi Newsroom. Let's bring you more stories now. And the Students Loan Trust Fund has taken a significant step towards recovering about 90 million Ghana cedis from over 20,000 defaulters by publishing the names of the first 30 defaulters in national newspapers. The fund has also warned that it will take legal action against those who fail to repay their loans. Citi News' Daniel Ludro has more in this report, read to you by Akusiotri.
Administrators of the Students Loan Trust Fund have been unsuccessful in their attempts to collect payments from over 20,000 debtors who have defaulted on their loans over the past 10 years. In an interview with Citi News, the Deputy Director of Public Relations at the Students' Loan Trust Fund, George Ferguson Lane, discusses their efforts to compel defaulters to repay a total of 90 million Ghana cedis.
We've engaged them, we've sent them letters, we've sent them reminders. In some cases, we've even contacted their employers. In all cases, we have contacted their guarantors. All these steps have borne no fruit. Now, when that happens, the act that brought us into being gives us the right to publish their details in the national dailies, and that's what we've done. So over the past week, we've published a list of defaulters. We published their names, they've published the institutions they went to and the amounts they owe. These people, once we've published, and we published it together with a demand notice, the next step is that we are prosecuting. So that is the status as we speak.
According to the Deputy Director of Public Relations, the recent publication of the list has yielded some positive feedback.
Those that owe know they owe, because we send them reminders, we send them requests. So once the publication started, people have started coming forward. Because if you owe and there's a list published in the dailies, you look inside, you are lucky enough not to be part of it, you are not going to wait for the next publication. So that's the kind of response we are seeing. People being proactive to prevent their details from being published and the associated embarrassment. So that's the kind of response we are seeing now.
He also encourages students who are planning to apply for loans for their undergraduate education to do so without hesitation.
What they have in common is that the time period which I gave you as an average of 10 years has elapsed. So that's the average period. Open applications in January this year. Applications are still open. So on a daily basis, students are applying. We are unable to pay all of them at the same time. So what we are doing is that we are doing it as they come in. So first come, first serve. And so we continue to pay in batches. And the applications are going to be open for a while.
Now, the Ministry of Education says it is advancing efforts at digitalizing and transitioning the country's education sector onto an electronic learning platform to help the sector attain global standards. The ministry has begun a regional stakeholder engagement on digital and electronic learning under the Center for National Distance Learning and Open Schooling, St. Louis. Citi News' Hafiz Tijani has more.
Technology continues to shape everyday life, and education is no exception. The use of electronic and digital platforms for teaching and learning became crucial in Ghana following the emergence of the COVID-19 pandemic. Stakeholders believe proactive steps are needed to safeguard Ghana's education sector to match the fast pace of evolving technology. Executive Director of the Center for National Distance Learning and Open Schooling, St. Louis, Nana Jemfi, gave highlights of steps to make the education sector hybrid.
I think when it comes to the brick and mortar, the talk and chalk, that is the traditional educational system, we are very grateful to that setup. That is how all of us, we attended or we achieved some sort of education. So we cannot decide to take that out entirely. But now if you see how technology is being evolved, we are in the AI society, that is the fourth industrial revolution. You could see that technology has been incorporated in all facets of life, and education is no different. So we need to embrace it to see how we can sync it with the traditional setup. Nobody is recommending, or the minister is not suggesting that we take away traditional way of receiving education, or we take away the brick and mortar. No, it still will be there, but we have to synergize. We have to see how we can add it. We will blend it to be a hybrid sort of education.
The Education Ministry, under the initiative, is currently running online and offline teaching and learning platforms using the iBox. Consultant at Sendlos, Dr. Kofi Sapon, explains the initiative makes it possible for students to access degree courses online.
It doesn't matter their levels, where they are, they can use it. And the idea also is that the platform will not just be online, it will be workable offline, so that it doesn't matter your location, doesn't matter your level of in terms of technology, you'll still be able to take your degrees online. That is what we expect this platform to really come out with. So we are looking at the e-course design, we are looking at e-teaching, we are looking at e-learning, we are looking at e-STEM, we are looking at the quality assurance, we are looking at the various safety and precaution measures we need to put in place, so that when we are online, teachers and learners will not be abused.
Policy advisor on STEM at the Ministry of Education, Professor Mark Adum Asamoah, insists resources are needed to sustain the initiative.
With sustainability, we want to make sure that we will have the resources to continue to do the things that we do all the time. We also want to ensure that we have teachers who have been trained well, so that there will be no short supply of teachers. We want to make sure that we have the digital devices. And in addition to the digital devices, we also have data to be able to undertake all this. So we have different people playing different roles. One has to deal with training, and we must continuously train people.
UNESCO, which is the main financier of the initiative, is assuring an all-inclusive e-learning policy. Country representative for UNESCO, Abdul Rahman Diallo, says his outfit is committed to supporting the initiative.
And then the ICT in education and the SDG 4 is one of the core, I would say, objective is the inclusion, equity, inclusion for all, and all means for all. So whatever we develop at the global, national, regional level is to ensure that each beneficiary's specificities are to be taken into account.
The National Policy Meeting, in collaboration with UNESCO, UNICEF, and Planned International Ghana, will be replicated across all regions of the country.
Hafiz Tijani, Citi News, Kumasi, Ashanti region.
This is still the Citi Newsroom here on Citi TV with me, Kweku Ediamansa. Still to come. Senior Presidential Advisor Yao Safomafo charges the Kolebu Teaching Hospital to focus on developing some of its centers for medical tourism. Details coming up shortly. Please to stay.
Sunday on the Upside Down Show, we'll have a conversation with Princess Koko Boateng, Ghana's youngest qualified chartered accountant at age 18. She will speak about her experience on campus, life, and family.
I want to be someone who changes the dynamic of things. I don't think change comes in boom, big like that. It starts from the little stuff. So in my workplace, I would want to contribute significantly. Maybe from there, then it expands and goes worldwide.
We'll also have special appearances from Adelaide this year.
Sweet Jesus, you've got me dancing to your tune. As the deer pant for water, so my soul longs for you. Forever and ever, yes, this heart beats for you.
And a robotics engineer, Henry Sinyegbe.
Okay, so this is a visually impaired stick, which is to help the visually impaired aid in navigation, whereby if it detects obstacle, it gives a feedback vibration that there's an obstacle in front of the visually impaired path. Yes. Yeah. And then it tells it to move to the opposite direction.
On the Upside Down show at 7 p.m. only on Citi TV. Upside Down is proudly sponsored by Sky Mineral Water.
You're welcome back to the Citi Newsroom. Now, tenants in the national capital of Accra continue to bemoan the high rent charges and the demand of rent advance by some landlords. This lamentation comes at a time when the Rent Control Department has received over 73,000 complaints from tenants and property owners between January 1, 2019 and December 31, 2022. The following report filed by Citi News' Emmanuel Opon has more.
Accra is home to people from different walks of life. It is one of the most diverse cities on the continent in terms of ethnicity. However, living in the city may come with its own challenges and possibilities. Thus, the phrase Accra Stay By Plan. With a population of over 4 million people, one of the key issues many have to contend with is finding a decent accommodation one will call home. But with the current economic hardship, are people able to afford the rent as charged in Accra? Citi News interacted with some tenants and they presented a mixed picture.
Because nipa so be Jesus so munyi be a 1 year or 2 years advance se okuta dan opedan single room porch kra wa kra ha this okuta be 6,000 2 years et me say there me nyame say kan ko ma ko ha be da kaswa na ma chok wa kra nti weekend na me ko because me we kaswa kra 2 years no kra ko no enru ha 1 year enru akra ha 1 year nti me chok wa ha be bia ti weekend na me ko. For me, it's
okay. Then again, it depends on the kind of room you are renting. These days, the prices are skyrocketing, so it tends to be a bit expensive. But I'm fine. But I do understand, on the average, prices are soaring higher, and it's a bit difficult for a number of people. Currently, I'm in a single room self-contained. It costs about 350 thereabouts. Yeah, so it's quite okay, But I'm planning on moving to a chamber and hall, which will be considerably higher than the current rates. But then again, it will amount to about 30 to 40% of, say, my salary for a month. So, although it's quite on the high side, but then again, it's Accra, so you have to expect that.
The search for a decent accommodation in the city is tedious, as the everyday bustling and hustling of work may not give an individual or a family the luxury of time to do it themselves. This has given avenue to middlemen who are popularly known as agents. Citi News interacted with an agent who tells of some of the rent charged.
Formerly, in Accra here, there's a single room. We rented it some places 1,500, 700, 800. No. Now
70 cedis.
70 cedis, 80 cedis. But now, since this our new government, when you go to some places, they say 150, 200, and so on and so on. Single room self-contained, they rented it 400 and then 3,500. And yeah, And then some places, Chamber Hall, they rented it 3.5, which is 350. And let's say 2-bedroom like this is 1,500, 1,200. That is what is going on now. So let's say 3-bedroom second part. They rented it 2,500, 3,500. So this is what is going on now. Well, you know, this is long term. This thing started long time. The agent work from long time. We take 10% of the amount we pay to the landlord. That is what is going on now. Still, we take 10% of. That is our commission.
Citi News had an up close with some landlords, and they also share what informs their decision in pricing their properties.
It much depends on the economy, the way our country is going. Things have been going high cost of living. The things that we buy has been increased. Petrol fare has gone up. Food prices have gone up, and so it will affect the accommodation as well. Look at the price of cement now, and the timbers, plywood, doors, everything has gone up. Even water prices have gone, electricity too has gone up.
Meanwhile, the Rent Control Department says the National Rental Assistance Scheme is being rolled out to mitigate some of the challenges raised by the tenants, as the department recorded over 73,000 complaints between 2019 and 2022.
The third issue is about the National Rental Assistance Scheme, where the government has put in a seed money to assist tenants who cannot pay this high demand of rent advance from landlord, so that the scheme will pay directly to the landlord, and then you, the tenant, will be given the option to pay monthly. And as of 21st of May, just 2 days from now, the application of 3,670 have been received by the scheme. Out of that amount, 260 have benefited, which means money has been paid directly to 260 landlords, where the tenants or those applicants are now paying monthly. There has been an approval of 290 applicants awaiting payment. So we only encourage Ghanaians. The system is very hard. People are demanding more than 6 months rent advance. So let's take advantage of this scheme. Go onto the platform, which is the www.nras.gov.gh. Go on there, apply, provide all the requirements, and then the scheme will assist you in paying your rent directly to the landlord, where you'll be given the option to pay monthly, as we all wish we can do, so that it will reduce the burden, it will reduce the stress that we are going through.
Let's bring you more stories now. And Senior Presidential Advisor Yao Osafo-Maafo has charged the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital to focus on developing some of its centers for medical tourism. He made these remarks at the 25th anniversary celebration of the National Radiotherapy, Oncology and Nuclear Medicine Center at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. There's more in this report read to you by Akosio Tre.
Commissioned in May 1998, the National Radiotherapy, Oncology and Nuclear Medicine Center at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital has contributed immensely towards cancer treatment in the country and also the sub-region. At an event to mark its 25th anniversary, the Senior Presidential Advisor Yao Osafo-Maafo praised the center for its contributions to cancer care in Ghana and the sub-region, noting that the establishment of the center has attracted patients from other countries to seek medical care in Ghana. Osafo-Maafo also expressed the government's commitment to decentralizing cancer care and announced his support for the procurement of a mammography van to address breast cancer cases.
The National Center for Radiotherapy, Oncology and Nuclear Medicine have saved this country huge amounts of foreign exchange. But you can imagine those we are treating now, if they were all to be found treatment outside our shores. All this is now taking place here. But most important thing is that that center is developing what I call medical tourism. A lot of people in the sub-region are coming down to get treatment from that center. And this is one big advantage Korle Bu should take as a policy to develop some centers as medical tourist centers, because people believe in the Ghanaian skills, and people will come down within our sub-region to get treatment and pay for it in dollars. We would take particular interest in the drive to decentralize cancer control activities down to the chief compound under the supervision of district health management teams. Cancer should not be an Accra matter. It should not be a city matter. It is the ordinary Ghanaian matter.
The director of the National Radiotherapy Oncology and Nuclear Medicine Center, Dr. Joan Yane, highlighted the significant milestones achieved by the center, including equipment upgrades, while also mentioning the challenges faced by the center and cancer patients.
A study that the center participated in under the auspices of the IEA reported actual radiotherapy utilization of 9% instead of the recommended 52% among Ghanaian cancer patients. What accounts for this dismal rating? Access to treatment in these various forms affects utilization. There are issues of financial, logistical, and psychosocial barriers to cancer care. The cost elements that feed into determination of patient fees, including cost of radioactive material, maintenance agreements on equipment, and duty on some of our inputs, make treatment expensive and beyond the reach of some Ghanaians. For instance, a bill of 1 million cedis is pending for us to pay as duty fees incurred on our recent radioactive source change. I'm sure we will need help with that because that was unexpected.
The anniversary celebration, held under the theme 25 Years of Excellence in Comprehensive Cancer Care in Ghana, served as the launch for the Cancer Survivorship Care Plan and a fundraising campaign for a mammography van. Awards were presented to individuals and organizations including the Ghana National Petroleum Commission, Ghana International Women's Club, and the National Petroleum Authority for their contributions to cancer care. Former First Lady Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings was specially recognized for advocacy leading to the establishment of the National Radiotherapy Oncology and Nuclear Medicine Center in the country.
I just want to say that when you put something on your heart and on your mind to want to change something, change a situation, don't look back. Just continue looking forward. Stay focused and move systematically towards your goal.
And that's our package of today's edition of the Citi Newsroom here on Citi TV. Our website, citinewsroom.com, has more information on our top stories and more. Subscribe to CityTube on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Citi TV. My name is Kweku Ediama, and so many thanks for watching.